Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. So if you haven't already guessed by the title of this video, I'm going to share with you all my evening skincare faves. I also got you guys to ask me some questions on Instagram. I thought I'd just do a bit of a chatty Q&A while I get unready. So if you would like to see my evening skincare favourites, then please keep watching. So the first step in my skincare regime is always just taking my makeup off with makeup wipes. I just take the majority of it off with this. This is more just sort of for ease. I also feel like I use less of my cleansers and other maybe slightly more expensive products if I use a makeup wipe to take the majority of my makeup off first. I was having such a nightmare into thinking where I should film this video because filming in my bathroom is not ideal because it is actually quite small in here, but I can't do all the stuff I need to do without a sink. So we're making do. I hope that you guys don't mind the setup that we've got going on here. It's very sort of like clinical and white, but hey ho. So once I've taken most of my makeup off with a makeup wipe, I like to leave my eyes separate. I take this off with a cleansing balm. I love this because it's oil based, so it really helps to break down any eye makeup. So the cleanser that I use is the Elemis Pro-Collagen Cleansing Balm. So this is amazing for two reasons. Number one, it's actually really good at getting rid of makeup altogether, so you can just get rid of the wipe step and go straight in with this. But as I say, I do feel like you use a bit more by doing it that way. And this is also amazing if you suffer from dry skin because it is an oil-based cleanser. It's really hydrating. So that's why I personally love it, because I've got kind of normal to dry skin. So this, I feel like my skin, ever since I started using it, just feels really nourished. So I just apply a little bit to my finger and then I just put it onto my face. And then I just rub it in circular motions all around my face, just making sure that it gets rid of any of the excess makeup that the wipe didn't get. And then I also just rub over my eyes, and it really is amazing at breaking down mascara and eyeliner and all that kind of stuff, and it's gentle on your eyes as well. It doesn't hurt, you don't get sort of like stingy eyes or anything like that. I also bring it down onto my neck to make sure I'm getting rid of all the foundation or any other makeup products, and also behind my ear. I feel like that's sometimes a spot that people miss, but I do feel like I take my foundation up there, so you need to make sure that you're really getting everything, almost like basically bathing myself in this stuff. So I then get a flannel which I wet with warm water, and I just remove the balm. For me, taking my makeup off is honestly like taking my bra off at the end of the day. It feels just as like, it's my favourite step, honestly. Skincare, I just feel like as I get older, I become more obsessed with it. I think it's because you kind of understand the importance of looking after your skin a lot more as you get older. I thought, seeing as it's a self-care Sunday kind of vibe, I would do a face mask while I kind of have a chat, answer some of your questions. So just before I put the face mask on, I'm going to use one of my favourite Ole Henriksen products. So this is the Dark Spot Toner. This I just think is absolutely amazing. It's really good if I have any breakouts. It kind of keeps them at bay. So as you can see here, just to apply this, I literally just soak a cotton pad in the toner and then just kind of wipe it over my face. And I actually think my skin has been the clearest that it's been since using this toner. It's got kind of like a nice tingly feeling to it as well, this. It's not like a stingy tingle, but it just, yeah, it feels like it's doing something, which I've mentioned so many times before that my favourite kind of products are ones that I feel working. So now my skin is all cleansed and toned, I'm going to move on to face mask. So the mask that I'm going to use is the Ole Henriksen Cold Plunge Pore Mask. So this is amazing at reducing the appearance of pores. It's also really good at keeping kind of like oily skin at bay, and the most exciting thing about it is bright turquoise, which I always think makes a mask seem so much more fun. So I probably use this about once a week, and I do it in the evening, sit in it for about 15 minutes I think it is, and yeah, then just wash it off. And I do feel like it leaves my skin feeling really refreshed. It's got a kind of minty scent feel to it, so it does kind of give you that sort of cold, fresh feeling to your skin, which I actually really like with skincare. So I'm going to apply this mask with one of these silicone face mask brushes I mentioned in my Amazon haul. So I'm just going to pop this on. So then while I have this mask on, I'm just going to add some of the Elemis Pro-Collagen Advanced Eye Treatment. I just feel like I like to apply like a thick layer just while I'm doing my mask. Whether it does anything, I don't know, but I just feel like it's quite a nice thing to add while your mask is drying. So this step here, you could also put on some of those eye masks that you can get, which obviously is like a sheet mask, and just leave them on and then put a face mask on. So while I'm out here looking really glamorous, I thought I'd go through and answer some of the questions that you guys had for me on Instagram. There was quite a few questions about things that I had already answered in my everyday makeup tutorial, so I will link that video below for you guys in case you missed it. I do answer a lot of questions about like fillers, marriage, cosmetic surgery that I've had done, so I'm not going to cover any of that because I have answered it before. So a question that did pop up quite a lot, and I do get it a lot on my Instagram, is everyone asking about this tattoo which I have on my arm. So I got this done 2 years ago now, maybe 2.5 years ago. It is actually my favourite tattoo that I have. I have about 8, I think. They're very random. I've got a few little small ones. But yeah, this is my favourite. And it says, "First never follows," which is my favourite quote. I think it's just quite a good way to live your life, you know, don't focus too much on what other people are doing. Just really focus on yourself, because at the end of the day, you are the most important person in your life, you know? So yeah, I just really loved it, and it is one of my favourite tattoos. I do love a tattoo that I think looks really cool. So one of the questions that I got asked by quite a few different people was, how do you deal with insecurities? Do you have any insecurities? All that kind of stuff. Of course I do. I feel like you're not human if you don't have things that you are insecure about, or body hang-ups, or things, you know, that you don't necessarily love about yourself. So I feel like when it comes to coping with insecurities, the thing that I always find the best to do is to try and accept them. I know that sounds so cliche, but like, for example, I have mentioned this before in some of my other videos, I'm not blessed with a bum. I never have been, and I probably never will be. I do try and work on it in the gym, but it's just something that genetically I've just never had. And I remember when I was younger, like when I was sort of 15, 16, I used to be so hung up on it. But now I feel like I've kind of just embraced it and just thought, you know what? This is me, this is what I look like, I can't change it. And you know, there are so many other things about myself that I love, that I'm not going to focus on this one really negative aspect of my body. The other really important thing when you do have some insecurities is just never ever compare yourself to others, especially online, because 9 times out of 10 what you're seeing online is not real. You know, everything is edited or manipulated or taken from a certain angle to look a certain way. So I think in this day and age, dealing with, you know, confidence and insecurities, it's all about focusing on the things that you love about yourself, and also making sure that you don't spend too much time comparing yourself to others. So another question that I got asked, totally unrelated to anything beauty, but it's, what cameras do you shoot your content with? So I use my iPhone a lot of the time, especially for any pictures at the moment in my house. Joe just takes them on my iPhone. I do have an Olympus pen, but I only really shoot on that if I'm away or I'm doing something where I want the quality of the picture to be amazing. But at the moment I'm loving Polaroid cameras, film cameras. I've got a 35mm film camera that I bought, which I haven't got the film developed yet, but I'm so excited just to see what it's like. So I had quite a few relationship questions that you guys had for me, and one of them was, how do you not get jealous in your relationship? I personally feel like there shouldn't ever be jealousy in a relationship. I feel like jealousy kind of comes in a relationship when there's not a mutual respect for each other. For example, like I'm going to use Joe and I here. Joe would never put me in a position for me to feel jealous, if that makes sense. Now, I don't want to preach and be like a relationship expert, because I'm not. But the relationships I had in the past where I have felt sort of jealousy, they have been very toxic. And the jealousy has come because the other person maybe doesn't respect me as much as they should have done. So with that being said, I feel like if you feel like you are suffering from jealousy within your relationship, I think you need to think why you're kind of experiencing that. Now, is it because they're putting you in a position where maybe they're hanging out with a girl that you don't trust them being around? That again is another thing though, that's kind of opening up a whole other can of worms, in the fact that you should trust whoever you're with, like, so that there is no jealousy, you know? Because when you have full trust in someone, I mean like full trust, there is no ounce of jealousy. So yeah, I feel like that's my kind of advice on that, is that when something's really right and it's meant to be, there shouldn't be jealousy. So like, for example, I've been with Joe now for almost 2 years, and I've never once experienced jealousy in our relationship at all. Like, nothing that I can think of. So this is a slight business related question I had. How do you start a business in a lockdown? I would say, personally, I would say maybe don't start it while you're in lockdown, but I would say definitely work towards it. Make sure you've got everything in place that you want to have in place, you know, make sure you've got all your kind of like vision boards, you know, mapped out business plans, that kind of stuff, like the kind of homework behind starting a business. Only because obviously I have a new business that is not even a year old yet, and it is suffering from, you know, the situation in the world right now. So I feel like if you were brand new and you were just starting, it might be sensible to just maybe wait until this has kind of blown over, which hopefully it will do, or at least passed a little bit. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with, you know, as I say, planning and just getting yourself to a position where you're really ready to go when you can, you know. That's also the best thing about this time, is I feel like it's a really good time to just better yourself. We've got so much free time at the moment that we can do all those things that we've been meaning to do and have just never got round to doing. And I think that, yeah, it's just, I personally am finding that I'm using my free time to do things like create mood boards and vision boards and things like that really inspire me and are keeping me going, and thinking about my plans for the future, writing like dream lists, just things like that. I feel like it's such a good time to do that. So another question that I've got to ask is, how do you edit your photos? I am going to do an updated how I edit my Instagram photos video. That will come probably in like 2 weeks. So this has now been on for 15 minutes. I'm going to take this off. The most important thing I think when you're taking off a face mask is to make sure that your flannel is soaked in warm water. I just feel like it helps to kind of break it off a little bit easier. And then when I do take off my face mask, what I like to do is I like to press the flannel against my face like this and just hold it there for about 5 seconds and then just pull it down, and I feel like it takes off a little bit easier and you're not sort of there like scrubbing your face. So now that my mask is off, I'm going to move on to my other skincare favourite. So this is something I'm absolutely obsessed with. It is the Murad Age Reform Hydrodynamic Quenching Essence. And this basically says that you use as a treatment alone or as a pre-treatment to enhance the results of your favourite serum. So I like to put this one on first because, as it says, it's going to enhance the results of anything else that I then put on top of it. So I'm just going to put on, so just use about 2 little pumps. Just rub it in. I also always make sure that I put all skincare down my neck as well. This leaves your skin feeling so soft, even just on its own. It's such a nice formula, like it feels nice on your skin. So my thing with skincare is just hydration, hydration, hydration. I put on pretty much everything and anything, especially in my nighttime skincare. I love to sort of just marinate, you know, and just put everything on. So the next thing I'm going to use is the Skin Proud Recharge Serum. This is actually something that's kind of new to my nighttime skincare regime, but I'm absolutely loving it. So the reason I love this product is because it targets dry skin, which, as I said in the beginning of this video, is my kind of skin type. I'm normal to dry. It's also got hyaluronic acid in it, so it helps to really lock in moisture. Again, helps with the hydration. And then it's also got rosehip oil in it, which is an ingredient that I really like in my skincare. So just put, again, 2 pumps onto my hand, and then I'm just gonna rub it onto my face. Next up, and my favourite step in all of my skincare, whether it's morning or evening, is a facial oil. I am completely obsessed with facial oils, honestly, just cannot get enough of them. The one I've been using at the moment is the Mercier Nourishing Rose Oil. It smells amazing. It's a really nice texture for an oil. Sometimes they can be too thin or too thick. This is kind of like somewhere perfect in the middle. So I feel like there's a bit of a debate about whether you put an oil on before your moisturiser or after your moisturiser. I personally like to put my facial oils on before my moisturiser, just because then I feel like when I put the moisturiser on top, it's sort of like the final step, and it kind of is almost a bit like a mask, and it keeps everything all like marinating underneath. So the next step after all of that is a moisturiser, and for this I'm going to use the Murad Retinol Youth Renewal Night Cream. This is just so good. I've used this for a really long time and I just really love it. I think the reason I like this is it's quite a good thickness. So it's like, as I say, I feel like when I use a moisturiser at night time, I like to feel that it's quite thick. So this one is basically to improve skin's firmness, it helps with wrinkles, just all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's just, it feels really nice on your skin as well. So for the last step of my skincare routine, I'm going to use the Skin Proud Bright Eye Cream. This again, it's just, I love putting an eye cream on before bed. I feel like eye cream is something that I've started using a bit more of as I've gotten older. It never used to be something I was that bothered about, but now I'm obsessed with it. So when I apply my eye cream, I like to look up and then just like lightly pat it underneath my eyes. So there we have it, guys. Not looking particularly glamorous, but I'm feeling very hydrated, and I do love skincare. It's honestly just the most important thing. Looking after your skin, you will never regret, you know? You're not going to regret putting effort into your skin. It's something that you will thank yourself for later when you get older. And I personally just find it so fun trying new products, and just any of my skincare routines I look forward to doing. I might be slightly weird, but I do really enjoy them. So I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video and you found it useful, and that maybe I've inspired you to try some new products for your skincare routines. All the products I featured are amazing, and I really enjoy using them. I feel like they keep my skin really clear, they keep my skin hydrated, and that's really just the main things I'm looking for from my skincare. But thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!